Hello, my name is Brandan Vande, and my senior thesis project is about data privacy. Nothing has more entropy than data. When the internet first started, only a fraction of the data we have today could be harvested. Today, data scientists frequently scour over datasets with over 1 trillion data points in them. When the internet started gaining popular consumer support in the early 2000s, online companies made their money through selling physical products. Today, the vast majority of the web is free. The difference is you are the product. The same is true for governments across the globe as whistleblowers and journalists like Edward Snowden, Glenn Greenwald, Chelsea Manning, and Julian Assange screamed about improprieties at the highest levels. In the past 2 decades, the amount of data about us and that has been gathered on us has grown beyond ridiculous numbers. Data privacy is a niche area of concern that skeptics often brush off as hyperbolic, sensationalist, and sometimes confusing beyond understanding. With this in mind, I say in a remarkably undramatic and sober manner that the chaos of data publicity systematically affects every single part of every single human being's life. The goal of my project is to make individuals aware of the risks they accept every day when they step onto the web, while also simultaneously exposing the organizations and individuals who take advantage of the general people's lax opinions and routines. My interest in data privacy began in middle school when my brother and I started a business together. As the one in charge of marketing and design, the amount of data we were able to gather at such a young age shocked me. As I got older, our business expanded in different ways, and I decided to pursue a career in marketing. The weirdness of social media became increasingly prevalent in my life. What started out as a way for people to connect with friends has shifted into a way to make you angry. And this happens to everyone. If you start to scroll down even just a little bit on Facebook, you will find something that will make you angry within a couple of scrolls guaranteed. Social media algorithms have realized that anger creates clicks, clicks get views, and views earn them money. Your parents, grandparents, friends, and everyone you know that spends even a little bit of time on the internet is being subjected to this. While the majority knows they're being manipulated by social media on some level, most have no clue as to the depths of what's really going on behind the scenes, me included, and this is my job. There's a lot of confusion about data privacy, and that's not by accident. If social media or web companies could keep you in the dark about sharing you the data, it's much easier for them to make money on you. While these people do supply a useful service for a lot of people, they do really next to nothing to educate you on what you're signing up for. To show this, I created printed books of all the privacy policies and surrounding legal documents for the biggest social media companies. The result are these novel-length books that confuse much more than they help. I also printed C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 as thematically similar and similar-length books to really highlight the requirements these companies would need to really show you what is going on when you check that pesky little I agree to these conditions checkbox. As my brother and I businesses grew and shifted in different directions, I started working more and more with analytics, and my interest grew with them. Artists Georgia Lupi and Stephanie Posovic have particularly inspired me with their project, Dear Data. In this project, these two information designers measured small but impactful instances that occurred over the week and created graphs to share with their friend across the Atlantic. The results are these incredibly interesting and complex pieces of data that once you put together what they're saying, it's profound, and you really just can't stop staring at them. Something that particularly caught my eye was the use of postcards to portray data. I hate to admit it, but as a data analyst, I normally think of paper as a borderline ancient way of communicating. To put it bluntly, when I think of communicating through paper mail this way, it reminds me of my grandparents and their unfailing ability to send loving cards in the mail on every holiday. This led me down the path of thinking about how our older generations are known to frequently ask my generation for technology help. The result of these two ideas is a list of the steps I would give my own grandma if she asked how to get rid of Google spying on her phone. The result is this monstrosity of a scroll that is almost 20 feet in length, all handwritten. This is the expectation of what you as a consumer needs to do in order to be able to be truly data private. And to be honest with you, this scroll doesn't even fix the issue. If you sign up for a single website on your phone that gets your email address, they can already start pulling data from other websites that the email is connected to and they already know everything about you. So you might be thinking, okay, so why do I care and how do I stop this? Social media is making money off of me, but I'm fine where I am. I've been so far good as I am. The purposely manufactured idea that consumer data scalping only matters to those doing bad things, or it's only for more important people, damages everyone involved. French philosopher Michel Foucault described the relationship of power and knowledge in mass surveillance as akin to a centralized prison watchtower. The outside of the watchtower glass is blacked out, so the guard inside can see out, but the prisoners have no way of seeing in. As a result, the prisoners need to assume they are being watched continually without rest. These same tools are the key for societal control of modern states that no longer respond to overt tyranny. Mass surveillance through governments and corporations alike creates a prison in the mind that is more subtle and more effective at fostering compliance within social norms and orthodoxy, even far more effective than brute force could ever really be. Every tyrant, from the most brutal to the most subtle, craves that system, and it is dangerous. Whistleblower Edward Snowden puts it perfectly when he says, "This is why when you hear people say things like, 'If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear,' that's no different from saying you don't care about free speech because you have nothing to say. It's an antisocial argument that says it doesn't matter what happens to the rest of society. It doesn't matter what happens to my rights because I'm okay right now. I'm not different. I'm not interesting. I don't need to be. I'll adapt to whatever the rest of the world wants me to be." What you're saying is, I don't want freedom. I don't want liberty. I just want to be. Whether it's through my experience or distrust in the system, I strongly believe the best way to make a change is to expose to people what is really going on behind the scenes, and they can make their own decision. For this reason, I wanted to create an interactive poll. At its core, data privacy is a push and pull of what the average user is willing to give up for the sake of their own data. The poll asks questions like, would you share your location data with Google to save 30 minutes in a traffic jam on your way home? Now, personally, I would say yes. The last thing I want to do after a long day at work is to sit in a standstill in traffic. It's interesting to see what other people respond with and what they're willing to give up in return for their personal information. However, the site takes it a step further. Once you scroll down a little bit, the website gets to the heart of the question. Surprise, Google already knows your location, and they do all the time within a 6-foot radius accuracy, every single moment of your life when you have your phone. If you use Wi-Fi on your phone, Google knows where you are, and the only way to escape it is to follow a 20-foot long to-do list. The goal of my project is to expose the truths of data harvesting and what you as an individual can really do about it. When someone says my data isn't important, my response is that they're welcome to not care about their data. But I do, and I don't want Google to know every time I go to the bathroom, and there's no way to easily hide that from them. The only individuals who have the ability to change data privacy policy are the people who benefit the most from them. We as individuals should not have to do this. You should not have to make decisions based on concerns about telling the world everything about you in a single click. You should not have to study to safely use the devices you rely upon every day. If you as an individual make decisions to be more data private, it'll force these people to change, and the world will be a better place as a result. Thank you.